I'll never forget the first time I helped my mom make meatballs. It was your typical Sunday afternoon, and I was giving my mom an earful about how bored I was. So finally she gave me three options. I could clean my room, do my homework, or help her cook dinner. Of course, I wanted to clean my room. I'm just kidding. Okay. I chose to help her cook dinner. All she really let me do that day was roll the meatballs into their shape. Yet, I still felt like a master chef. Okay. This day was enjoyable, but my change of heart really came at dinner time. As my family delved into their huge piles of spaghetti and meatballs, my mom received her usual praise for her signature dish. But this time was different. This time she passed along this praise to me. The surprising faces of the rest of my family, was followed by my dad exclaiming how they were the best meatballs he ever tasted. I don't know about that, but this made me feel an immense sense of pride. And from then on, my love for cooking and the kitchen in general has really grown exponentially. Hi, my name is Grace DeSanctis. I'm a freshman at the University of Notre Dame, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how there's different types of rhetoric on different Food Network shows. So the Food Network has, over the years, grown to monopolize the food channel industry and has really started to vary its programming. And by vary its programming, I mean it started off strictly with demonstrative cooking shows, such as Barefoot Contessa and Rachel Ray's Week in a Day, and has really recently started to include different types of cooking shows or shows that involve food, such as competition shows like Throwdown with Bobby Flay and Chopped. Now, despite these differences in shows, a similar goal exists, and that goal is to get audience members to turn on the TV and continue watching. But because of the inherent differences between these shows, I also found that there were differences between the rhetoric used to accomplish this similar goal. So therefore, in this presentation, I'm going to be using Throwdown with Bobby Flay and Barefoot Contessa, two shows of opposing genre, and analyzing the different rhetorical strategies used in these shows to accomplish this similar task. Now, before I start analyzing, I figured it would be best to give you all a basis of what each show is about. A typical example of an episode of Throwdown with Bobby Flay would be Bobby Flay traveling to Boston and challenging the local baker to a Boston cream pie throwdown. And then a blind panel of judges are brought in to determine whose cuisine reigns supreme, either Bobby's or the challengers. So I'm going to be using Throwdown as an example of a competition show. On the other hand, for Barefoot Contessa, hosted by Ina Garten, this is an example of a cooking at home show where Ina teaches her viewers how to prepare easy and elegant home cooking. And lastly, I want to say that rhetoric is an effective use of symbolism, and by effective, I mean accomplishes the purpose. And like I mentioned before, the purpose of these shows is to persuade people into watching. And we want to recognize cooking shows as rhetorical devices, even though it might not seem apparent that they are, because they're used to deliver messages and influence audience behavior. So we can see that rhetoric is found all over the Food Network. For instance, it's found in Throwdown with Bobby Flay. I found that Throwdown with Bobby Flay really emphasizes the ethos that is present, and ethos, as we see, is looking for evidence of character or credibility. Bobby Flay, the host of Throwdown with Bobby Flay, is an acclaimed New York chef who already has this large sense of ethos that follows his name. So we can see that any challenger that he challenges also must be extremely skilled as well. So we can make this connection. On the other hand, we have, in Barefoot Contessa, we have pathos really being the main source of rhetoric that is in the show, and rhetoric is the proof of emotion that appeals to the values of the audience. Ina Garten is a mother-like figure who appeals to the desire for comfort from an audience, and also she creates this connection between the audience through one of the segments of her show called Ask Ina, where she answers viewer prompted questions. So although there are these differences, I also found that there were similarities between the two styles of rhetoric used between the two types of shows, and these similarities stemmed from Herrick's definition of rhetoric. I found that competition shows and cooking at home shows included some, if not all, of these characteristics of rhetoric. For instance, in Throwdown with Bobby Flay, they capitalize on humans' tendency or humans' inclination for competition, and so it's adapted to an audience. It's also persuasion seeking because people are persuaded to pick a side. I personally always root for the underdog, but that's just me. And similarly for Barefoot Contessa, the rhetoric is planned and adapted to an audience to appeal to whatever motives that they want. But I found that the motives for people who watch Barefoot Contessa are different from the motives for people who watch Throwdown. For instance, people who watch Throwdown really just want a form of entertainment, while people who watch Barefoot Contessa are also looking for an educational factor in addition to this entertainment. And moreover, Ina is responding to a situation every time she answers a question prompted by the viewer, and she also persuades viewers to try the dishes that she makes on her show at home. In conclusion, there are different genres of cooking shows that exist on the Food Network, and each use different forms of rhetoric to accomplish the goal of getting people to watch their show. But I also found that there were similarities between the different types of shows rooted in Herrick's definition of rhetoric. But all in all, whether you are looking for this sense of competition or you desire the comfort of a host's kitchen, the Food Network is bound to persuade you into watching one of their shows.